If you're looking to choose the best ideal credit card for your situation, in which you can travel for free, earn amazing perks, earn cash back on your purchases, you have landed on the right video. Because in this video, I'm gonna go over how to choose the best credit card for you. And if you watch this video until the end, I'm gonna show you guys how I go about this process. So let's not waste time. Oh yeah, and by the way, my name's Thiago. Let's get into this video. Let's begin with step number 1, know your credit score. You can request your credit score from all 3 major credit bureaus, which are Experian, TransUnion, and EQUIFAX. You can also do this by using an amazing app like Credit Karma or any other apps of your choice, but this is my go-to app. And usually with these services, you will be able to see your credit range, which usually shows your credit score anywhere from bad to excellent. The reason you want to do this is because you don't want to run the risk of applying for a credit card that requires an excellent credit score if your credit score is fair. Because you can run the risk of getting denied and getting a hard inquiry on your credit reports, which makes applying for a new credit card that much harder. Now, once you know your credit score, you can move on to step number 2, which is know your spending habits. This step is crucial because you want to maximize the amount of points that you can earn. You should also have an idea of what your spending patterns look like on a monthly and yearly basis. In order to understand your spending habits, you should check if you eat out a lot, if you spend a lot of money on groceries, if you spend money on gas, if you do a good amount of traveling, and if you do a good amount of shopping. Now, you can keep track of these categories in 2 different ways. One of these ways is by using the good old spreadsheet method, but this takes a ton of time to do. Or you can get with the program in the 21st century and use an app to make your life a lot easier. A great app to track your spending is Mint. There are many great apps out there, but this is currently the app that I use. I will leave a link here on the screen if you want to see how this app works. But make sure to watch this video until the end before you guys go ahead and do that. The reason for doing this is when choosing a credit card, you want to match your spending habits to the perks on the card. So if you eat out, essentially, you want to earn multipliers on your spending. By the way, guys, at this point of the video, if you're finding value in my video, make sure to support me by hitting the like button and subscribing. Now, once you're all set with this, let's move on to the next step. Step number 3, set a goal and research credit cards. Once you know your score and spending habits, it's finally time to begin looking for a card. At this point, you should also establish a goal. What is the purpose for you getting this card? Do you have a big trip planned and are looking for free flights? Are you looking to earn as much cash back as possible? That way you can rack up that money and treat yourself at the end of the year. Or do you want to get a metal card? That way you guys can flex. But seriously, don't do that. Now, once you know your goal, you should take a look at which cards match this. One of the features that you'll want to know is if the card has an intro offer. Also, you should know what the total value of that intro offer is. The next important thing is you want to know if this card has an annual fee. There are many great cards out there that offer phenomenal rewards, but they have a really steep annual fee. For some, the perks and rewards can far outweigh the cost of these fees, but to others, they can be a huge burden. Always make sure to know what type of fees your cards have, just because if you start signing up for these cards, these fees can start adding up real quick. And they could literally add up to what you pay or more than what you pay for rent. So make sure that you guys pay attention to this. Next, you'll want to know about the point system of this credit card. This is when knowing your spending habit comes handy, because you'll want to match your spending categories to what you can earn on these cards. Let's take a look at an example. If you spend a lot of money dining out and on groceries, a great card to get would be the American Express Gold Card, because you can earn 4 times points on these categories. One way you can compare all cards is by literally creating a spreadsheet and matching your spending habits to the point system of each card. But that's only if you're extremely OCD with this stuff like I am. But there probably is a website which you can go and compare all these credit cards. So do the one that best suits you. Next, you'll also want to know what other perks these cards offer. You'll want to know, do these cards offer perks like free airport lounge, an upgrade of your favorite hotel, car rental coverage, not charging a foreign transaction fee, or even reimbursement for global entry. One reason for looking at this is you might be comparing two very similar credit cards that have closely related point systems, but their perks can vary widely. Another example that comes to mind is if you travel a lot and end up using rentals. You can get a perk like an auto collision coverage, which can save you a lot of money. Car rental agencies try to sell you this because they earn commission, but if your card covers this, you can end up saving tons of money, especially if you make multiple trips a year. This can add up to hundreds, even thousands of dollars. I was able to use this benefit once with my Chase Saphire card. When I was traveling to Canada, I had an accident and Chase reimbursed me for thousands of dollars. Another feature that is important to know is what APR does your card charge. APR stands for annual percentage rate. This is the amount of interest your card charges you when you carry a balance. I never recommend carrying a balance because these fees can be as high as 28%. This is one of the biggest causes of people going into credit card debt. Now, if you're a responsible person and you pay your card on time, this might be a feature to pay attention to, especially if you're looking into a balance transfer credit card. So you want to know the basic feature of credit cards. This way, when comparing cards, you know what these features mean. Now, I want to take you guys through how I look for a credit card, especially because I am in the process of doing that right now. So let's start with my goal. My biggest focus when comparing credit cards is to see which card I can use to maximize my rewards for traveling. One card that I am contemplating on getting is the Capital One Venture X card, which I currently do not have. Now, here are some of my spending habits. I eat out a good amount. I do a good amount of grocery shopping. I spend money on gas, and I do a good amount of traveling. I'm not a big shopper, so I can maximize that category. Now, the Venture X card does not reward me for eating out, groceries, or gas, but I do earn 10 times points if I book hotels and rental cars through their portal. I earn 5 times points on flights. And again, that's all through using their portal, and I would use this if they price match flights from different websites. But that process might be a hassle. If you guys have this card and have done this before, let me know how that goes. Drop a comment down below. They do offer 2 times points on different categories, but that still does not meet my needs 100% of the time. Now, their sign-on bonus is 75,000 points, which translates into a value of $1,300, which is not bad and can net me 2 round-trip tickets. I also get 10,000 miles each anniversary year, and I'll get a $300 credit if I use their portal to book travel. Now, I can keep on going through the perks, but I want to cut this video short. This card has insane perks, especially because it's a Visa Infinite card. So if you guys want to know more about the Capital One Venture X, I'll leave a link here on the screen so you can check it out. However, one downside of this card is that it does not have many travel partners, which I use. They only have one, which is Aeromexico, that I use on occasion.
So that's another con.
So all in all, this is a fantastic card, but at this moment, I will pass on this card because there are other cards that meet my needs better. It especially makes the leap a lot harder, especially since I'm in the Chase ecosystem. I hope this gives a little insight on how I choose my cards. That way it can make it easier for you guys. It is a little more complex than this, but this is just in a nutshell how I look at things. So to recap, make sure to know your credit score, know your spending habits, and set goals and start your card search. Now, I want to know from you guys, are you currently searching for a credit card? Is there a card you have in mind, or are you having a hard time with this process? Let me know in the comment section down below. I might be able to point you out in the right direction. Also guys, by the way, I made an in-depth video going over the Apple credit card. So if you guys are interested, make sure to click here, watch that video right now.